The opening race of the F1 2026 is finally done, and we are moving to the second race of the season. And here are my predictions for the Chinese Grand Prix. My name is Grid Guy. Let's quickly get into it, shall we? So yeah, Australian Grand Prix is finally wrapped up, and we have a back-to-back race weekends, which means we are now moving to the Chinese Grand Prix, which is up this weekend. We have a clarity on how the pecking order looks now, and we know where the teams stack up, the strengths, the weaknesses. So considering all of this, let's quickly dive into my predictions. So for some quick context, these are the predictions that I'm going to be doing, which is the overwhelming driver of the weekend, the underwhelming driver of the weekend, the overwhelming team, the underwhelming team, pole position, and the top 3 drivers in the Grand Prix. So quickly, starting with the overwhelming driver of the weekend, and that's going to be Max Verstappen. Yes, one time was nice, and I had to do it twice. I predicted him as the overwhelming driver of the weekend in the Australian Grand Prix, and now I do the same. He showed us what he can do with these cars, starting from P20 and quickly recovering to finish in P6. Currently he's the best driver of the grid, if not one of the best drivers of all time in the F1 history. And I think he will continue where he left off, and that long straight in China suits Red Bull a bit more. And yeah, in the Australian Grand Prix, he passed slower cars, but the way he passed and the way he was able to quickly recover the places and get back to P6 was outstanding. If there is any one driver who can maximize potential to absolute best, who can extract every ounce of performance of that car, even though it's not the fastest car on the grid at the moment, it has to be Max Verstappen. And I feel this weekend, at least in qualifying, he will place that car higher up on the grid where it shouldn't belong. I have quite this feeling, so he's going to be my overwhelming driver of the weekend. So now, moving on to the underwhelming driver of the weekend, and my prediction is Liam Lawson. Yep, I have predicted Liam Lawson as the underwhelming driver of the weekend. He's in that Racing Bulls. Yes, they also have the Red Bull powertrains, but the reason for me to pick Liam is that he's still struggling with this generation of cars, and he is still struggling to harvest or play around with the batteries. And I quite feel that he is not fully comfortable with the car compared to his teammate, who is actually a rookie, and he did an outstanding job in the first race. Look at where Arvid finished and look at where Liam finished. And also, he was not good at the start as well. I don't know if it was the car issue, but yeah, he's not happy at the moment, and he's still trying to understand or learn things on how to play around with his power units, or how to sort of race during Sundays. So I think it will be more of learnings for him, and also trying to settle down and continues to feed on the data. So he will not be on the pace with his teammate is what I feel. So I just predict him as the underwhelming driver of this weekend. So the driver's done. Moving on to the teams. And my overwhelming team of the Chinese Grand Prix is going to be Audi Revolut F1 team. Yeah, Audi Revolut F1 team. They were very, very impressive on how they started this season, and they managed to score the points in the opening race and also finish in top 10 with Gabriel Bortoleto. For a brand new works team, that's outstanding. Tremendous job. And I think they will continue to perform the same way in this weekend. And operationally, they look rock solid. They have Jonathan Wheatley, who has this experience in Red Bull in the past 15 to 20 years. So they know how to operationally be proactive, and they have done that. And they will continue to have a standout performance. But the only concern for me is the reliability issues that they have right now, because of which they did not finish the race with Nico. But yeah, if the car is there on the grid, for me, I personally feel that they have the potential to finish as the best of the rest this season after the top 4 teams. But yeah, they will continue to look good in China is what I feel. And they will continue to maximize the potential with the car that they have and with the resources they have at the moment. So yeah, they will have a good weekend is what I feel personally, which is why I predict them as the overwhelming team of this weekend. So now moving on to the underwhelming team of this weekend, and it is going to be Alpine F1 team. Yeah, I have my money on Alpine for the underwhelming performance this weekend as a team. I mean, they are one of the teams who still have some problems with the battery deployments and harvesting when it comes to long straights. And China is one of the circuits that has long straights, especially in the third sector. Yes, Gasly managed to finish in the points, score a point for Alpine, but we also have to take into consideration that there were faster cars who did not finish the race, like Isaac Hadjar and Oscar Piastri. So if the cars stack up on how they look and how they are at the moment, I think Alpine will struggle a bit. And I think they are one of the customer teams for Mercedes who haven't fully understand the battery PU. For me, I feel at least McLaren and Williams have an idea on how to sort of improve as the race pans out. But I think, yeah. And also for them, with the tire management, it looks a bit weaker side of the moment. But yeah, considering all things and putting it all together, I feel they will struggle in this weekend. So my prediction for the underwhelming team is got to be Alpine. So now the teams and the drivers done. To the real stuff, pole position. And my prediction for the pole position in the Chinese Grand Prix is going to be Kimi Antonelli. Yes, my bet is on Kimi Antonelli from Mercedes to take the pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix. I mean, he showed us what he can do with his raw speed. He showed us the glimpse on how he can recover. He had a really bad start in the Australian Grand Prix, but then he recovered. Of course, he has the advantage of being in the fastest car, but then, yeah, I think if he had not had a bad start, he would have challenged Russell. He was there. He did not drop off from Russell dramatically, but yeah, this weekend, the type of circuit suits him better. And also like the short corners and the long heavy braking zones and the tight cornering speeds will suit Antonelli more compared to Russell. I mean, last year Brazilian Grand Prix was a prime example where Russell was nowhere and Kimi scored an outstanding P2. So I think China is a perfect example for him, and he is the driver who enjoys these conditions, and his short corner driving is the fact that this circuit is going to be his territory. So I think he'll get the better of Russell and he will grab the pole position for the second race of the season. Now, pole position done. But who is going to be the top 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix? And my P3 this weekend is going to be Lewis Hamilton. Yes, Sir Lewis Hamilton. He is back, baby. He's back. I feel the hammer time is back, and the race that he had in the first race of the season and the race pace that he showed, yeah, I think he's very much comfortable and settled down with that Ferrari car right now compared to the last season. And I felt that if there was 2 laps more in the Grand Prix, I think he would have caught Leclerc and he would have got that first podium in Ferrari in the Australian Grand Prix. But I think that confidence will get him back to his best, and yeah, his race pace looked very, very strong, and I think he very much enjoys now that the ground regulations are gone, and yeah, the power unit formula is back, and I think he's going to be at his absolute best And China is one of the tracks where he enjoys driving and also have good results. I mean, he had that sprint win and sprint pole last year, even at that times when he struggled. So I think he will get the better of Leclerc this weekend, and I think he will get a stunning podium for Ferrari. His first ever podium with Ferrari. And he's going to be my P3 this weekend. So now, P2. Who is going to be the runner-up for this Grand Prix? And my predictions for P2 is going to be George Russell. Yep, George Russell, he won the first race of this season in quite a stunning fashion, and I think it's another strong result for him and also for Mercedes. I think he's going to get the P2 for the season, and I mean, they have a very big edge in the qualifying right now. I was so stunned when they had this 8/10 of a gap with the next best second team. So I think this qualifying gap will help them score consistent qualifying positions, either P1 or P2 most of the time until the teams catch up. But yeah, I think he'll get a strong result, and then I think if the reliability doesn't hit Mercedes, which the Mercedes PO is quite vulnerable at the moment compared to Ferrari and the Red Bull. I mean, Red Bull have their own share of problems, but if the reliability concerns are in there, I think it shouldn't be a problem, and it will be another strong finish for Russell, and he is going to get the P2 this weekend. And then finally, the P1. Who is going to win the Chinese Grand Prix? And my race winner is going to be Kimi Antonelli. Yep, my full purse is on Antonelli this weekend. For me, personally, I have a strong feeling that he's going to shine this weekend. I think he's going to get the pole position, and he's going to convert that pole position into his first ever career F1 win. Like I said, the circuit suits him more. That is his territory with heavy braking zones, tight corners, short corners, and he is one of the drivers. There are very less drivers on the grid right now with short corner driving, and he is one of them. So I think he's going to get a challenge from Russell, but then I think he will cope it up brilliantly. He has developed at an insane amount of rate, and he has understood the tire management very brilliantly. From the second half of the last season up until now, there was no dramatical fall off during the race from him, and I think he will manage the race brilliantly, and it's going to be the first win for Kimi Antonelli in the Chinese Grand Prix this season. That's it. That was my predictions for the second race of the season, China. I'm absolutely buzzed. Not so looking forward to qualifying, especially with how the cars are driven, but the race was good. The Sunday was good, especially on how the cars can overtake and then defend and then try to get the place again. So I'm looking very much forward to the Chinese Grand Prix, and I hope we will have another exciting, fun race. So my predictions were good. In the last predictions, I managed to get the overwhelming driver, the overwhelming team, the underwhelming team, pole position, and P1 bang on. I did okay, so I will see if I can do much better this weekend. And but what do you guys think? Who do you think will take the pole position? Who do you think will have a fantastic drive? And who do you think will get that first win or another win this weekend? Kindly let me know down in the comments. We'll have some good discussions. And don't forget to like this video. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel. I mean, it's been going good. The support is eventually coming up strongly, but each and every ounce of that matters to me, means the world to me. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, keep supporting me, and I'll get back to you soon with another video. Up until then, cheers.